Biggest shift we saw for Medicare Advantage brands in the past year was when the big three, Aetna, United, CVS, all came out and said, we are going to focus on margin over membership. And this was pivotal. They all made this notice during their earnings calls when they were making this pivotal shift because the expense of running these Medicare Advantage plans got too much for these plans, and not just the big ones, plans of all sizes. And so they wanted to focus on margin over membership. And what did that mean? They were going to cut benefits for the first time ever. Traditionally, the big three would come out with shiny benefits and everybody would try to catch up. And so that was really a pivotal moment that really set the stage and foundation for what we were going to see this AEP. And leading up to AEP, we had things like an election looming. We had legal battles with CMS and CMS changes. We had, for the first time, no one was doing a first look. Everybody's playing a very, very conservative poker game. They're keeping their cards close. And at the end of the day, everybody did cut benefits. But the question was, and we weren't going to know until AEP started, who cut them the most and who was poised to win. One of the things that we need to remember as marketers to the senior population is that our core consumers aren't like my dad, who's 82 years of age, who struggles to use his computer, who struggled to use a VCR back in the 80s. The reality is someone turning 65 has been using the internet for almost 30 years, has been using email for almost 30 years in their professional life. They know technology, they know digital, just like someone in their 30s and 40s do. So we need to remember that, and we need to meet them where they are in their digital journey. Keep in mind that other brands are talking to them at a pretty sophisticated level. Look to retail, look to consumer banking, look to property and casualty insurance. Think of some of the big brands and how they communicate and engage the 65 plus population digitally. As marketers, we need to look there to inform our strategies and making sure we're not treating them like they're 82 and like my dad. We got to make sure we're treating them that they are a sophisticated digital consumer that may want to do all their shopping online and maybe even their buying online. A trend that we're seeing more and more is e-adoption, sign-up of Medicare Advantage. This year, those numbers were at the highest they've ever been of people enrolling, self-enrolling online, and there's many companies now coming after that market. So we need to be mindful of where seniors are in their digital journey and meet them and not talk down to them because they are super smart and they know how digital works. Yeah, as marketers, one of the things that changed this year was digital jumped to the front page. We know that direct mail is and continues to be the workhorse for marketing during AEP season. That DEF supports that 100 times over. But what changed this year was the action seniors took when they got the direct mail piece. For years, as I can remember, the first action they'd take was phone call to a call center or to talk to the local broker. And third was go online. Well, this year, going online jumped to #1 by 39% of seniors did that this year. An amazing shift. And what does that tell us? That the digitally savvy senior is awake. They are now getting their research from online, being online to be able to find out what plans work for them, what are the changes going on, and what is the right situation for them and their spouse or significant other. That was the biggest change ever. And we see that is because the baby boomer population is now at its peak aging into Medicare, which is a huge piece. These are folks that have been using technology, email, websites for almost 25 to 30 years of their professional career. And now they're retiring and aging into Medicare. They don't want to talk on the phone. They want to do their own individual research, come to their own conclusions, in some cases, shop and buy and sign up online. So this is a huge paradigm shift. So as marketers, one of the things we had to do is making sure that our digital journeys are as crisp and clean as possible. In some cases, working with clients to replace the monies they put in telemarketing scripts and put it towards conversion rate optimization to make sure those online experiences are as productive as they need to be, because you only sometimes have one shot. And lastly, making sure you're doing social listening to pay attention to seniors that are commenting on the social networks, because they are. Let's not be ignorant that they're not. They are. And with a lot of things going on in the healthcare space now, we need to be observing and monitoring that and leaning into making sure our brand is being represented appropriately out in that digital world. As with every industry, AI is creeping into every facet of market, and Medicare is not excluded from that. We are seeing popping up in this industry e-enrollment tools, AI-driven e-enrollment tools, where a senior does not need to talk to a broker, they do not need to talk on the telephone. They will literally use a tool online that will help them choose the plan that's right for them. Basically, they're doing a Q&A just like a broker would, but AI chat driven, and it helps the senior choose the best product for them. It's an amazing tool. And what we're seeing is adoption of these tools is slowly growing, but I can project that in the next 5 years, it's going to grow at a significant rate. And a lot of money is being poured into this to to meet that need and meet that demand, because seniors now are more digitally savvy than ever. We have to meet them where they are. They're not like an 82-year-old senior. They are an active senior that uses smartphones, uses devices, and are comfortable buying and purchasing products online. And Medicare is not excluded from that. So as marketers, we need to be mindful of this, though it's small right now. It is growing. That AI-driven e-enrollment, self-enrollment, is going to be a segment of the market that we have to be prepared for. So the folks that really won an AEP are the ones that were really looking at AEP as they have been for years as an omni-channel approach. But the ones that really won the day are the ones that pivoted in their strategies, the ones that focused it on retention, because retention is a huge piece now. It's not just acquisition. We're hitting a saturation point in Medicare Advantage, 50% saturation across the country. And so that means you're going to be retaining members is more important than acquiring net new members, because there's just fewer of them that are going to be switching to you net new. The ones that took advantage of their digital strategies first, we know direct mail is the workhorse. It's going to be there. It's going to drive the activity we want, but making sure those digital engagements are crisp and clean, making sure that you're investing money in the markets, in the counties, in the states that you want to grow in. Having a good pulse on your digital strategy is critical to making sure that omni-channel approach works for a plan. In every market, you have your plans that are in the number 1 market share, number 2 market share, number 3 market share. That happens in every county, in every state, all across the country. If you're in the number 2 or 3 spot and you want to get into the number 1 spot, there's a couple things you can do. Following this past AEP, the senior market has awakened, and they're paying attention to what we're doing as marketers and as plans. So competing on benefits is key. Making sure your benefits are strong is really critical to make sure that you're going to have a successful AEP. And number 2, making sure you meet them where they are from a customer experience standpoint, making sure you're taking care of them, meeting where they are on a digital journey, making sure you're meeting them where they are from a customer service standpoint. And specific to marketing, things you can do is leverage the data you have about the members and prospective members in your area. Communicate with them specifically about their needs. Make sure you make that experiences as on point as possible, whether that's through copy, whether that's through imaging, whether that's through an online journey, making sure that those experiences are top notch. Because the reality is, following this past year, seniors are reading their ANOCs. They're now reading the marketing material. They're paying attention. We have an active live shopping community that's switching at a rate we've never seen before. And that switch rate is not just a one-year anomaly. It's projected, and many of the talking heads in the industry have said this, that this is going to continue into 2026 as well. So really hyper-focus. If you want to jump into that number from number 3 to number 2, number 2 to number 1, making sure you're focusing on that marketing experience and that you're being authentic, true, and honest in every touch point you make. The top 3 things Medicare Advantage plan marketers need to focus on this year is number 1, coming off the heels of one of the most dramatic AEPs ever. Retention has got to be part of your strategy. You just can't focus on acquisition, because the reality is the senior markets has awakened, and if they're not happy, they will leave you. So do a retention model just like you do an acquisition model. Identify those individuals that are at high risk for leaving you. Second, seniors are paying attention now. They are reading your marketing materials. They are dialed in. Make sure you don't leave anything to chance. Make sure you're clear and concise. Make sure you're grabbing their attention in the appropriate ways, driving them online because that's where they want to go, and making sure that those those engagements are as crisp and clean as possible. And let's not forget that seniors are using online tools, and we need to meet them where they are from a digital experience standpoint. This is a very savvy group of individuals that no longer are like your 82-year-old parents like my father is. These are folks that have been using the internet for over 25 years of their professional lives, and other brands across other industries are meeting them where they are, and we as marketers in Medicare Advantage need to meet them where they are as well.